a big red candle on the Bitcoin daily charts right now, pretty breaking off of this breaking news. And in this video, I'm going to talk about this chart. I'm going to talk about two extremely important perspectives that I think we need to utilize going into this short-term news. And we're going to look at all the Bitcoin charts, everything necessary to kind of navigate through. Here's the news itself. Kraken has agreed to shut its cryptocurrency staking operations to settle charges with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, according to an industry source briefed on the matter. Now, this is 3 p.m. right now as I record this video. The SEC will discuss and vote on the settlement during closed-door commissioner meeting on Thursday afternoon, and an announcement may come later in the day. A second source anticipates an announcement around 4 p.m., and here's an announcement that just came out around a half hour ago. Kraken agreed to shut crypto staking service and SEC government settlement, according to a source. Right now, everybody, hit the like button if you agree with what Jeremy Hogan is saying. Kraken offers up to 20% on stake tokens. Bank of America offers 0.0001% and a paperclip. Of course, the SEC would shut it down. It seems like anything that crypto does that is good and competes really with traditional finance, it's just attacked immediately by the SEC. And we see this time and time again. Right now, this is just a perfect illustration, a real-time event happening before our eyes, and we're seeing how it plays out on the Bitcoin charts. And we're going to break down these Bitcoin charts. And after we look at these charts, I'm going to go over kind of my opinion on the matter and how drastic I think this is for the cryptocurrency space, this whole thing about staking being attacked. I want to discuss that in the last part of this video. So here's the first thing. I talk about this a lot on my YouTube channel. When we get news, whether it's positive, bullish news or just negative, bearish news, these news events throughout the years, and you just go and you zoom out on a Bitcoin monthly chart, doesn't matter. All in here are all these micro events. They're good news, they're bad news. They're just these events that look like crypto's over forever. But you just see Bitcoin and crypto has remained in this uptrend. It's remained in this trend. And so these little micro events, these, in this case, a negative event, it really does act as a trigger. But for me, as I just do technical analysis, and it's why I do technical analysis, I have to stick with the analysis. I have to stick with what I was just talking about in a Bitcoin video yesterday prior to this news even really being in play. It's the technicals. It's the roadmap that is being formed on the charts. Because right now, nothing is broken. We're on pace in terms of Bitcoin, and these events just act as triggers on the charts to hit certain targets. And that is all that I think we should be looking at. That's all I look at. It pushes all emotion to the side. And this is what we're seeing on the charts right now. What happened? We broke this rising wedge to the downside. We anticipated a pullback. And what did we say? We looked at this case for if S&P 500, this is a stock market, if it continued to the upside, this would be the case for this chart to retest this lower trend line. And then what did we say? If the stock market falls to the downside, and you can see the stock market, here's S&P 500, big red candle on the S&P 500 right now. This is something I think when we're looking at Bitcoin falling right now, a lot of people aren't taking this into account. They're just thinking, hey, this staking news, this is negative and crypto's falling. But let's look at this perspective too. Stock market is falling, and this is probably impacting crypto more than that headline that just dropped. And all the while, we continue to monitor this US dollar currency index in an upswing right now. So this is happening right now too. It's not just this negative headline. I think we should focus on that. All the while, it's this zoomed in roadmap, the targets that we have just still in play. And so we sit here and we anticipate targets to be hit. And right now you can see Bitcoin falling to the downside, that next target right around $20,500 or so, just above 20,000. And I just have to continue to remind myself how important of a range that is. This is the throwback area to the moving averages, the 50-day moving average that just crossed above the 200-day moving average. It's an area that we like to see tested, and it could potentially be in play. Not necessarily in the current daily candle, which would be an absolute epic drop, but it could be on its way even more so than before. Right now, Bitcoin falling on the daily. I'm not sure if this drop of around 10% is going to happen immediately right now, but this is something that we can track and maybe more visually on the 6-hour chart, meaning maybe there's just some consolidation sideways before continuation. Maybe there's just a kind of a false breakout to the upside, another lower high before falling. But again, I think a lot of that move will stem from what's happening here, S&P 500, what's happening in traditional markets, what's the US dollar currency index doing over here. And you can see it's making a little bit of a run up towards a very key area. And again, this area of resistance still in play, swing high to swing low. You can see this could be in a downtrend, right? So this could be a really terrible day today for crypto, and there could be fear in the markets. But if this US dollar currency starts falling again, maybe tomorrow or something, we could be right back in this uptrend, and Bitcoin could be testing resistance once again. So we have to just take these things in stride little by little. What I do want to say is if we go here to the weekly chart, all of these things in play as we make this macro shift, and I keep saying this, the pivot point. It's the macro shift out of the bear market. We have to be ready for red weeks, red months. We have to be ready for throwbacks to key areas. Even if Bitcoin fell to $17,000, this could be a very bullish move. And so from my perspective, and this is just how I see things, I'm just tracking my journey. From my perspective, I just need to be patient. I have to let this macro move play out amidst all of these moving parts that are happening right now. In regards to the news itself, I came across this on Twitter, and it was just somebody just tweeting. Shout out to them. I'll put a link in the description. But they said, thoughts on SEC banning crypto staking. And I think this is an incredibly important perspective. SEC is an enforcement agency. They do not make laws. They enforce the federal laws enacted at Congress. Given the state of U.S. politics, this will never fly. Staking has become synonymous with lending. This is a fault of exchanges using both terms interchangeably. And also what I'm hearing right now is this is very much probably focused from an exchange point of view. Think of things like the Earn program. And I'm hearing from just people smarter than me in the space in this regard. But this is what's the focus is right now, I think, these exchanges, these brokers. And as somebody that runs Cardano stake pools, a node operator myself, I'm very much in tune and tracking this developing story because it's very important to track this and make sure that we're doing things how we need to be doing them. But right now, this is at an exchange level, it seems, and it says, Brian Armstrong, CZ, could remedy this by making clear distinction between both consensus products and lending practice. True staking should be directly supporting a network security. It's not a pool of funds for margin, and that is the key point. It's not a pool of funds for margin. This is to democratize consensus. This is to secure the network, and that should be the focus of the stake pools, right? Obviously, there's rewards for just everyday people like you and I to take part in consensus. There's rewards. We can talk about that and see that, but to turn it into these products, the Earn program, to turn it into this product where you're really just putting in your crypto, locking it in, for instance, and getting these rewards, it's a different story. It goes on. Not all staking is equal. Many exchanges run staking pools due to high cost to end users, C32ETH requirements. Exchanges have filled the need here by pooling users' funds and running custody pools. So I'll put a link to this thread in the description. I just thought those were really important points. And you're going to see just different perspectives of this news. Some people saying this is good. This is good. Get rid of exchanges offering staking. Get rid of it. Keep it in the hands of just communities and people that are running nodes in the decentralized, secure manner, not creating these products that the SEC is going to attack. So that's my perspective in that regard. But all the while, we continue to monitor and watch Bitcoin price move. So 6-hour chart, I think, does a really good job of just demonstrating how crypto is reacting. It's also doing a really good job of just demonstrating the path that Bitcoin is in, kind of after this little, not even a retest of the lower trend line, but almost a run up to that lower trend line pullback. Right now, it's just a lower high on the short term. Question is, are we going to get another lower high pullback before continuation, or is this going to have more of a quicker impact to the downside for Bitcoin? But just note, nothing is broken on these charts. Nothing is broken on these charts. Right now, I continue to monitor, continue to wait for the pullback that we've just been anticipating anyway. We've been anticipating this for days, if not weeks, just some type of retracement back down. I think it's healthy. I think it's good. This is what I'll be watching. Let me know what you're watching. Let me know your thoughts about this news. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.